Good morning. I wanted to talk to you today about one more topic that can really hold us back on this ascension process. Many of you may feel things are really amping up for us, and we're being challenged in every way, shape, or form right now. And it's not comfortable. But I think what we need to do is look at and examine, what are our belief systems? Because these beliefs have set up in our form. And as we eradicate these beliefs, we have to replace them with something else. And that's where we're getting in trouble. So for many of us, we have rebelled against the system. From the time we were born, we knew something wasn't right. Something right wasn't with the government, wasn't right with the religions, not right in the school system. Things just weren't okay. They didn't hit us in that heart center where we needed it. So we've always rebelled against these institutions. And now here comes ascension and awakening. And what I'm seeing is people have now created belief systems about this as well. And it's just as damaging. And so I started compiling a list of things I was seeing on Facebook in the groups and what people were saying. And I'm kind of going, we're not headed down the right road here. The entire purpose of this ascension is for you to be the walking master for you. That means you are not responsible for anyone else's beliefs. You do not have to take them on. Your job is to bring source in and have it live through you, through your heart center, through your form while you are on earth. Whether it's this earth, the new earth, doesn't matter. Because they're not two different locations. They're two different vibrations. And the more that you hold source in your heart, the higher vibrating you will be. So that's the purpose. It's that cut and dry. It's not easy. It's not easy to do that because we have to clear out everything. All of our beliefs, our fears, our hurts. We have to forgive. There's so much that goes into this. But what we can't do is lose some common sense and take on other people's beliefs. So I made a list, and one of the things, and I started thinking, well, am I being triggered? And I thought, no, I'm really not being triggered. What I'm seeing with some of the beliefs, and you'll see when we start talking about it, is a lack of compassion for where people are in their process and for the individuality that we are. We are all unique expressions of source. If we are all to be the same, what fun is that? I mean, if you were a fractal of source, and you could, in your source, and you could split yourself into a billion different ways, would you want two alike? No. You would want each one to be an individual expression so that you can learn. And that's what we are. We are the individual expression. No two of us are alike. Our bodies don't act the same. We don't react to the light codes the same. Nothing is the same because we're not meant to be. So the only way through all of this is to trust you. Trust your body. Trust your intuition and get more and more in touch with it. Are you going to make mistakes? Yeah, you're going to make a lot of mistakes. So what? It's okay. It's part of the learning process. But what we can't do is allow someone else to tell us how to be. And so one of the things that really triggered me, and I'll use the word triggered, is somebody put out there that enlightened people don't reproduce, that they don't breed. And I was reading this going, who would say that? That doesn't make any sense. But what it did was it created confusion and disharmony in so many people who have children who said, does that mean I can't do this? I can't achieve what I'm working on? No. What it means is that the person who wrote that feels that in order for them to obtain enlightenment, children are not in the plan, and it's totally okay. And there are others out there who know full well, because they've actually spoke to the children that are incoming for them, that they will be bringing in the new generation of these amazing souls. So one person's version doesn't have to be yours. And right now we have the largest group awakening. We have the largest group searching. And I would like to avoid some pitfalls with them. Some of these that I fell into myself. And so that's part of the reason for this video. So I really want you to look at this belief. Does it match yours? Because if it doesn't, throw it away. It's not necessary, and it doesn't have to exist for you. So another one was, people talk about the loss of sex drive on this journey. And yeah, some of us do. We lose our sex drive. Other people don't. The Kundalini awakens, and they're like, holy cow, what is happening within me? Again, there's no right or wrong. There's no yes or no. That's not how this works. And as we talk to others who are on this journey, we can find camaraderie. You may find somebody who doesn't have a sex drive, the same way that you may be feeling. Good. I'm glad that you found that. Don't let it become dogma, because that's where the issue is. Because if you could say, hey, some of us, we just, we don't have a sex drive and it's perfectly fine. You have a sex drive. Good for you. Simple as that. But that's not what's happening, because as humans, we get so wrapped up in belief systems. It's no different than some of the religious stuff out there. And so speaking of religion, another thing is how many people say, well, if you're on this path, you should not go to church. I've seen that written too. Why? If you can go to church and it fills your heart with love and it makes you feel good, why would you take that away from yourself? Now, for me, my church experience did not include that. So church is not something in my realm. But if it's in yours and it makes you feel connected and it makes you feel good, don't let anyone tell you to stop. Do exactly what's right for you. For me, I like to go outside. I want to go hiking. That's my church. And that's perfectly fine too. So another one, I've got my little list here, is that people should not go to the doctor. I've seen this written so many times, and frankly, I think it's irresponsible. When I was really going through the awakening process, the really hard beginning, I got this chest infection, and it very quickly went into pneumonia. And I was on all the different Facebook groups asking herbal remedies, what can I do, and all this other stuff. 3 weeks I suffered. 3 weeks, during which time I'm talking to people and they're telling me, well, your lungs hold your emotions, which is true. They do. And sometimes in the releasing process, we get infections. We have a hard time releasing. There's so much ook there that it gets infected. And so for 3 weeks, I suffered. For 3 weeks, I tossed and turned all night and drove my husband crazy until he finally said, if you don't go to the doctor tomorrow, I'm taking you to the ER. So I go to the doctor, full-blown pneumonia. And she's like, why did you wait so long? And what was I going to say? Well, because I really thought doctors were bad because we're all supposed to be holistic now. Well, that wasn't necessarily my belief. And so what I found and what I advise my clients is if you feel the need to go to the doctor, you need some assistance, go to the doctor. And if you go to the doctor and they say, well, you need, blood pressure medicine, but within you're going, no, I don't. Trust you. That's okay. But to look at an entire industry, the entire medical industry, and paint it with this broad brush of bad is duality. Are there great doctors and bad doctors? Oh, yeah. I got a hold of a spinal doctor who put the wrong size screw in that caused the bone graft to come undone and did lots and lots of damage. And then I got a hold of a doctor who repaired me. There's good, there's bad, but it just is. But it's your job to discern inside and not paint a broad brush and not allow others to keep you from obtaining all the help that you can. Remember, we are all, every single one of us, from source. That includes the doctors. So while there may be some that hold more source light and some that hold less, absolutely, they're not bad. Holistic doctors, I recommend them all the time. I say, go see a holistic doctor, get help with this. But to paint a broad brush and say, we're moving into this fifth dimensional body vehicle, you do not need doctors. It's not accurate. It's not accurate. Will it be for some people? Absolutely. But is it for everybody? No. And that's just it. Trust you. Trust exactly what you feel, and don't feel guilty because somebody else has told you you should not do this or you should do that. Because here again, we get wrapped up in the belief system. Another one out there is that the only way to ascend is to do so with your twin flame. It's not accurate. It's not accurate. Ascension's an inside job. There is nothing that you can eat to make sure you ascend. There is nothing that you can do. You can do all the yoga in the world. If your mind frame isn't right, if you're full of hate and judgment, that's not going to open your heart. So there's all these wonderful modalities out there that we can do, like finding a mate that can help and assist us. And many of us don't have twin flames on this earth. They're not incarnated. They are still in spirit. They are assisting us daily. So to run around and always look for this twin flame incarnate keeps us chasing our tails and thinking that we're missing something. When you're not missing anything, you are whole and complete within you. And the people that I know who have really good twin flame relationships are whole and complete in themselves. Because if they're not, then there's issues within the twin flame relationship. So there's nothing is cut and dry here. I have seen people who have cleared out the physical density in their form, but haven't yet worked on that emotional or mental density yet. I've seen people who have cleared out the emotional and mental density and are just now beginning to work on the physical density. We're all doing this on our own. We're all doing it at our own time, our own space, with divine timing. We have teams of people assisting us. We have to trust them. We have to trust ourselves and not look at what's going on around us and create a new belief system that really just holds us back. There's so many similarities to the beliefs that are flowing out there to some of the beliefs that held you back all these years. So really, really look at that. And don't take on anything that isn't yours. Become strong in yourself. Trust your soul, trust your spirit, because it knows. And it has such light and love for you and will guide you. And in many ways, it's almost as if saying, yeah, I'm going into the passenger seat, you drive. Because if I'm driving, I tend to run it off the side of the road. So I tend to go, okay, Spirit, you got this. Allow my will to be the same as divine will. And through all that, everything flows. So just take a moment and look at all the ways that you've got a belief system that's holding you back. All the ways that you work on social media, you work with other people, and you do feel triggered. You're like, well, wait a minute. I have children. Does that mean I'm not going to be enlightened? There's a clue. Something's not right in that belief. Something is designed there to make you feel disempowered. And if anything makes you feel disempowered, it's not for you. It's not for you at all. All right. So until next time, I hope that this was helpful and that everything I said made sense. We're going to get through this. We are. Spend lots of time outside, because even if you're having issues with the sun, which some of us are, go outside at night. Listen to the crickets. Look at the fireflies. Allow your world to heal you, because everybody is pulling for you. Gaia is pulling for you. The sun, the galactic core, all the codes, all the angels, the masters, the guides, their ancestors. They're all pulling for you. We just have to let them in. And we have to let them guide us to return to exactly who we are, which is a being that is not weighed down by another's beliefs. Talk to you later.